how to help your child improve on his or her grades in mathematics? If yes, then come with me.
1 over 3 by
5 over 6.
Correct. What is or are the prime
2.
factors? Correct. The cost or price of a gas cylinder is 8,000.
24,000.
Correct. What is the 7th
28.
Hello, welcome back. Remember, I said we are looking at tips to help your child improve on his or her grades in maths. The things we're going to be talking about today, you can actually apply them to other subjects. Before we talk about the tips, before we talk about solution, we need to look at the problem. What are the problems? Why do these children have low grades in mathematics? The number one problem children have in mathematics is actually fear. Yes, they are afraid of the subject. You'll be wondering, where do they get these fears from? What is the source of the fear? Just like people have fears in different things, in different areas. Like some people are afraid of water, they have phobia for water. You call it aquaphobia. Some have phobia for heights. You call it acrophobia. Some have phobia for depth. You call it basophobia or bathophobia. Some have phobia for small objects. You call that microphobia, small. That's how some children have phobia for numbers. You call that numerophobia. We have arithmophobia, and then we have mathemaphobia. That is phobia for math, when they are afraid of mathematics. What is the root of this fear? What are the causes of this fear? So if we can identify the causes of the fear that our children have, we'll be able to find solution to those problems. Number one cause of fear is from you, the parent. Most times parents create fear in their children concerning mathematics, probably because when they were young, they didn't like mathematics too. They are not able to manage this information when they start giving birth to children and discover that their children are not doing well in maths too. The second source of fear for children are the peers, their friends in school. They tell them, we are now in grade 5. I was told that the maths now, they might not even say they were told, they say the maths now will be more difficult. And they will transfer this fear to your own child. Your child accepts it and believes it. Number 3 source of fear is the teacher. Some teachers impose fear in their children, not necessarily because they want them to be afraid, but because they want them to be more serious about the subject. They tell them, do you think maths is not this kind of subject that you think can just pass anyhow? You have to be more serious when you're talking about maths. You have to be more competent. You have to do this. You have to do that. So they create that fear unconsciously in the children. Some children take the information negatively. Instead of them to take the subject more seriously, then they become afraid of the subject. So these are the 3 sources of fears in children. And then, what is the solution to this problem? Number 1, parents. Parent imputed fear. How do we relate with our children, especially for parents that didn't like maths when they were in school, and then some up till now, as they are adults, they are still not getting along with this maths. You hear them telling their children, when they are doing maths homework, please, don't bring it close to me. I don't want to see it. Some will even make statements like, I hate maths, or I hated maths. And we don't know that this creates fear in our children. Fine, we shouldn't live in denial like some people do. Whatever challenge you had when you were young should help your child if your child is having that problem. For instance, some parents suffer depression. And then how can your child be suffering depression too? You suffer depression when you were young, you were able to overcome it. You need to teach your child, even before you start seeing symptoms, to help that child, because the depression might not start at an early stage for your child, it might come later. So the same thing applies to mathematics. You start helping your child, even if you're going to tell your child you didn't like maths or you don't like maths. There are ways of communicating this. We will be discussing more on this later. You let your child know. Do you want to be like me, and when you grow up, you have children, you cannot help your child to solve maths? Some didn't like maths when they were in school, but they helped themselves. They practiced more. So you just have to encourage your child. Don't discourage them about mathematics. You are not doing any good. You are not doing them any good if you do that. The second is peer imputed fear. Do you discuss with your child when they come back from school about their experiences? Some will tell you, maths is difficult, mommy. You ask them, why? How do you know maths is difficult? My friend told me. Then you sit them down and let them know that that's not true. You can do well in maths if you put your mind at it. You can do well in anything if you practice more. Let them affirm positively about the subject. Any subject that they're finding difficult, let them affirm positively and let them see that they can actually do well in whatever they put their mind to do. The third one is the teacher imputed fear. Some teachers do that because they want the children to be serious. But that's not true. That maths, they cannot pass maths. We have seen that departments that usually have first class in the university are departments like engineering, mathematics, because people can easily do well in maths. You can get everything in maths more than any other subjects. So you can't conclude that maths is difficult, you have to study it more than any other subject. No. Every subject has its techniques, and that is how maths is. Fine is peculiar, but it doesn't mean that you will tell children that if they don't do this, they will not do well. Let them know. I've seen a teacher that told the children that he asked the children, do you like English? They said, yes, but we don't like maths. I said, do you know you can do better in maths than English? He said, really? And then the children started putting effort in the subject based on what their teacher told them. So teachers, if you are listening to me or watching this video, let's be careful of the words we use when we are trying to communicate to our children because you want them to do well. Still be positive. Still be positive. So I'm going to end this video here. In summary, one major reason children don't do well in maths is just because of fear. They are afraid of the subject. Parents, we need to help these children. We need to kill this fear in them. Don't impute more fear. They've gone through a lot of people, and then people have imputed the fear in them. All you can do for your child to help your child is to take away these fears. And I've given you some examples of situations, some scenarios, and things that you can do to ensure your children are not afraid of mathematics. In the next video, we are going to be looking at another problem and then the solution. How you can solve that problem in that child. How you can help the child to be more confident in mathematics. Thank you for watching. Kindly share to others. It will definitely be of benefit to somebody. Bye for now.